Welcome to the MLA Citation Workshop. During this time, we will have a brief overview of MLA. We will not cover everything. The objective will be, however, to understand the structure of the MLA paper, to be able to explain why citation is important. I would like for you to be able to identify the basic elements of a citation and to understand the relationship between the in-text and works cited citations. Your mastery of MLA will be evident by the quiz that follows the video. My name is Betty Rue. I'm a librarian at Lone Star College, University Park. Let's get started. So why is citation so important? It's an essential academic skill for good reason. It gives credit to the original creator of ideas or words or images from an information source. That might be a book, a photograph, a website, an article. The citation will vary a little bit depending on the type of information source that you use. Citation protects the user of information, that would be you, from plagiarism. And the citation gives your writing credibility as you cite the words or ideas of authorities in the discipline or experts on the topic to support your statements. And citation allows others to learn more from that original source by being able to track down through the citation to find the source. The MLA paper and the works cited page are the two components, major components, of the paper itself. There is no cover page. Rather, with MLA, you'll find on the first page of your MLA paper an area called the heading, which will be where you will place your name, your professor's name, your course, and your date. And then on the last page of your paper, you will be titling it the works cited page, and it will only contain a list of all the information sources that you've used to write about your topic. The MLA template is available at this URL, containing placeholders adhering to MLA rules for spacing, header, heading placement, font, margins, etc. And you can see the URL again. I would encourage you to get your phone and take a picture of this slide so that you have ready access to that URL. It is in the guide that you'll start learning more about citation. You can take advantage of the MLA template right here. This link will download onto your device and open up in a Word or a Pages document, maybe, depending on what type of computer you're using. The placeholders in the document do conform to the rules for MLA, so you don't have to worry about the margins or the font or the spacing. It'll all be programmed in there. And then the works cited page is ready for your citations with that hanging indent function. It is only on the works cited page as you list your citations that you'll need that hanging indent, and it'll be there for you. On the far left side of the guide, you'll see labeled tabs to help you with composition of in-text citations. Citations for various information types such as videos, websites, books, digital versus print resources. And take a moment to go to this URL and browse the guide so that you will be familiar with a convenient spot to find examples and answers to general MLA questions. Citation can seem to be a bit complicated. You have MLA, you have APA. MLA now is used for the humanities, your English courses. APA is generally used for the social sciences. And then Chicago very often is used in your history assignments. But it's always the same four things that any one of those citation formats require. Who wrote it? What did they call it? When was it published? And where was it published? So as you're looking at your information sources, keep those elements in mind. That will take you a long way to create your citations correctly. Here is an image of the basic citation anatomy for MLA. You can see the core elements listed horizontally here. Starting with the author's last name, author's article title, and so forth. And then again, vertically, the same information numerically listed so that you can go through each one of these and pull out the information necessary. Sometimes you will not have the information for each one of these elements. If that be the case, just skip that element and go to the next one. On this page you will see that the first work cited is the author's name. There are two authors. The first author's last name comes first, and then her first name. And then if you have other authors, that order changes so that it is first name, last name for any other additional authors. You'll also see that this is an example of an in-text citation is shown for this article, shown down here. You pull out the very first part of your citation. Very often that is the author's names and the page number. In this case it would be the in-text citation begins with this parenthesis, the author's last name Ball, A&D spelled out, and Moeller is the second author, page 43. It's simply the number 43. There's no comma, there's no P, just the number, parenthesis closed, and that is your in-text citation for this first citation listed here. Now these are your core elements. Depending on the source, additional elements may be needed. Again, the guide will help you with that. Date of access, I'm going to mention that because very often professors want to have a date of access that is an optional or supplemental element. If that be the case, it would go at the very end of your citation. Remember, there are two components of an MLA citation. The components work together to give credit to sources, to help readers find more information, and to give your writing credibility. If you have an in-text, you must have a works cited. And if you have a works cited citation, you must have an in-text citation in your paper. So here you can see the works cited is the full citation, that address, that way for everyone to find that source. And then inside your paper, the in-text citation appears when you're using information from Kristen Matthews' article. You pull out the author's last name, enclose it with parentheses along with the page number, and then the period ends your sentence. That in-text becomes inclusive, a part of your sentence. And we'll look at it again on this slide. Here is the paper, and it's in that first paragraph on this page that information from Sandra Abbott's article is being used, either paraphrased or there's a quotation here, and at the end of that sentence, parenthesis, author's last name, page number if you have it, parenthesis closed, and then your period. Alternatively, sometimes you may incorporate the author's last name as part of the sentence, and that's what is happening here. That's a narrative citation, and the actual parenthesis at the end of the sentence or paragraph will have only that page number within it. Again, looking at this inside your paper, you've used information, you've used a paraphrase, you're ending that sentence with the in-text information, Moran and Marshall on page 149, and then anyone who wants to read more or check out more information can go to the Works Cited page and look for those authors' names. The Works Cited page is alphabetized, so it's quite easy for someone to find the Works Cited to match your in-text. And you will be using information from your sources, of course, either by direct quote, that is using exact words from the source. And you can see here that when those words begin, you have your quotation marks, you have your introductory phrase right here, the article states, and then you have quotation marks and the quotation from the author. The quotation marks close when the quotation ends, and the author's name, parenthesis, author's name, and page number, parenthesis closed, period. And then if you're using your own words, it's called a paraphrase. You're using your own words, but you're still using the ideas from the authors. And so at the end of that paraphrase, you will have parenthesis, author's name, page number, parenthesis closed, and period. Okay, so are you ready to test your knowledge? Upon completing the tutorial that's found at this URL, again, use your phone to take a picture and go to the URL. You will receive a certificate of completion. You must score 70% or higher. That certificate can be emailed, printed, or you can save it as a PDF. Be sure that your professor gets a copy of that certificate. Good luck. Oh, and remember, not only is it important for you to be able to create citations and use them effectively, also asking questions when you don't know the answer or you need to check and make sure. Even though this is a quiz, we encourage you in the midst of it to text us at this number or send us an email at this address, and we'll be glad to help you out. Asking questions is another essential skill. Good luck and thank you.